UKZN Centre for Jazz and Popular Music, in collaboration with HTV, brings you Beneath the Mask. We sit down with talented, up-and-coming, as well as seasoned musicians and chat to them every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Check our Facebook and YouTube pages. Just search for Centre for Jazz and Popular Music or HTV. And you will find us. For participation, please call us on 068 1026 233, or alternatively, you can email us on zamat1@ukzn.ac.za. That is zamat1@ukzn.ac.za. Join us then and catch every last bit. Hello everyone, and welcome to Beneath the Mask, brought to you by HTV and Centre for Jazz and Popular Music. Igama lami uThulile Zama, namhlanje ngivakashelwe an ex-student of ours, Wandile Mazibuko, popularly known as JULU Sound. Hi JULU.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
So not only is JULU a trained pianist, but is also a DJ, producer, and songwriter. How do you marry all your worlds that they work together for the good?
I think it's always been the passion, the passion for the music, that's what's always driven me. And of course, you start by learning one thing, and then it leads to the other.
And perfect that
Yes,
art.
and perfect that. Like I started out as a pianist, when I was a child, like from playing in church, from playing around at home, and then I developed a love for DJing. I think I was in high school. I developed a love for DJing.
Was it the love of dance music that drew you to?
At the time when I was in high school, house music was very big. Compilations. We listened to compilations from like DJ Fresh. We'd listen to Soul Candy, we'd listen to Oscillator Grooves, and I was very much touched by the music that was there. I think even when you're with your friends or you're with your family, that's the music we listen to. We were all excited about those compilations coming out. So I sort of developed a love, but I didn't know how to actually deal with my passion, And I started by just learning how to make the music. I was introduced by someone, guy by the name of Mangoba. And then from then on, I was just learning, meeting other producers and learning new stuff. And then from then, I'd had a DJ passion before I actually went to make music, but I didn't have a chance to, I think like the background that I have, family background, at that time didn't allow me, strict parents.
Yes.
So I couldn't necessarily learn, but I was fortunate enough, like along the line, I was able to learn and I learned how to DJ. Now I knew how to DJ and I knew how to make music. And now my problem was whenever I came across vocalists, they couldn't write. So I'd bring a beat and then it's time to record, they couldn't write.
Yeah.
So I realized, okay, I'm going to face this problem all the time.
So you better be your own damn
Yes,
songwriter.
so I started learning, I was listening to people. There's a guy called Vocalist in South Africa called Tumelo, like I was very inspired by his style of writing, and I started studying him, like how he would write, how to approach a verse, and I'd listen to old school R&B because I was really intrigued by love songs that were house music. And I just started writing, man, and one thing led to another, and I found myself being able to write actually proper songs, like to the point that now almost every song that I record is written by myself.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who is your favorite house vocalist that's based in South Africa?
Yo, man, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one, because...
Top three.
There's a guy called Alexander James. There's also a guy called Brian Temba. But he's more on R&B, but he's done yes.
Oh,
he's done a couple of house songs.
Yeah.
And then, it's a female vocalist, but it's a tricky one. I think my current favorite female vocalist, because it had to be Msaki.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Have you featured any of these faves? Not yet.
No. Actually, I've worked with Alexandra James, but we never released the song. We didn't release the song.
How does that work? I've heard a lot of those stories in your industry, Uti. Yeah, it's there, but it wasn't released. Like, how does that work?
I think, there are so many factors that are involved when it comes to the industry, As artists, sometimes we meet each other and we're not in the same space. You may find that someone is trying to rebrand, someone is trying to venture into other genres, And when you get to the industry itself, and not just in the creative space, but the industry itself, there's a lot of business moves. So you'll find that someone is trying to venture into gospel, and you can't really release a house, yes, because it doesn't align with the brand that they're trying to push. So I think at that time, because we did that song, I think it's been so many years, I think it's 2014 or 15. I think on his side, he was on that phase where he was trying other alternatives, rather than what he was doing, like what I knew him for. So I think that's what made the song. Not be released.
Makes perfect sense, actually. So, Wendy, all of these now, different parts of you, the producer, the DJs, these are all before you came to study music?
No. Yes. DJ and production, it was before I came to UKZN.
So why come to study music? Because now you are in the industry, like you are within, you're doing it.
I'm going to try and make it my story very short. The thing is, with me, before I came to study music, I was already, in the industry. Like, I think at that time when I decided to study, there was already a buzz around my brand because I had met almost all my role models and they'd given me a stamp of approval as in I'm heading the right direction. I would attend like music conferences and you'd find that in that music conference, I'd be one of the producers that would be the highlights of the conference. So when I decided to come and study music, most people would say, no, I'm not coming to study. This is a time where I really, really push and grind because, I'm getting all this attention and I'm making all these connections. But I wanted to sustain in the industry. I didn't want to be...
You wanted that staying power.
Yes, I wanted that. And I asked for advice from some of the industry guys, and they advised me, no, go to school, And I felt like I was not ready in terms of the way I wanted to be developed because I was like growing up listening to house music. I was really inspired by Louis Vega, and he has a jazz history. Yeah. And I looked at that the person that I looked up to has a jazz history. So I really need to also try and learn, so that I can sustain, because this person has been there before I was born and is still here now. So let me also try and go and grow my knowledge, and that's that pushed me to get to school. And sometimes it was difficult because I remember in my first year, I had a song that was #1 on Metro FM, but no one knew. Like I knew, but no one knew.
Walking the corridors, yes. Who
no
I
one
am.
knew. And I had to sort of ignore all of that because if I had focused on that, I would not be able to focus on my studies. So all these things that were happening while I was doing my first year.
Which song was this?
It was like the first single I did, a house song. It was called No More Misery. It was featuring NJ. And that song did so many things for me, but I had to ignore.
And just focus.
And just focus on
and
school.
Finish what you started.
Yes.
Which is so important. A lot of us start, but we don't necessarily finish. Talking about, earlier on you mentioned the needing to go into R&B and go check to inspire the songwriting part of you. I know you did a big remix of a Whitney Houston song, one of the greatest vocalists to ever live.
Yes. I think when I was exploring, because I did this very often, when I was exploring, I'd come across songs that I'd really, really like, and I'd be like, the song would be so great as a house song, And I think that Whitney Houston song was one of the songs where I came across it. I was like, you know what, I need to try and find an a cappella of this song and just remixes. Well, it wasn't an authorized remix, so it was a bootleg. And I did the remix, and I put it up on social media, and things just went
Wildflower,
crazy,
wildfire.
because it ended up in Europe. It was doing very well. I think in Rome. I'm not sure, because
Wow.
I'd get people from that side who would actually, inbox me on my socials and be like, "We heard the song," because it was played by Black Coffee at that time. So they say, "We heard the song from Black Coffee."
Yeah, Black Coffee plays me, Mosquito just drops me and like,
And I'd get even some promoters like asking me like, "We want to book you. Like, how much do you charge?"
Sure.
And at that
like
time,
my assignment, Ila.
and yes, there's assignments. Yes, there's assignments, and I sort of had to like really, really internalize everything first, and then make a decision. What are you doing? Are you, because the Europe one, they wanted me to do like, they went to, I think it was Greece. I'm not sure. I don't
It
remember.
was like a 3-month or something.
Yes. So they were asking me how much do I charge and all those things, and I didn't know what to tell them, because I'm just making the music and I'm not really that experienced. I'm just like maybe 4 years into this thing, and I'm already getting started because I'm also at school, So I just had to make a decision, man, and I made that decision and I kept to it. Yeah.
Your remixes tend to do spread like wildfire, because I remember that you did the Mikasa one.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What was the occasion? And do you actually, before I forget, do you have like a vault of things you want to remix?
Yeah, no, there's songs that I'd really love to remix. Like, there's a South African song by Ndabo Zulu. It's called I forgot the name. I forgot the name of it, but he features Umbuso Khoza.
Oh yeah.
Yes, or Abantu Abansundu. I think I'm Nsund Mhlophe. I don't think I'm saying the name correctly, but it's that song. That's one of the songs that I really love to remix, and I've spoken to him about it, and I think that's something that's going to happen. But with the Mikasa remix, they hosted, I think it was, I can't remember the year, but they hosted a remix competition, via Soul Candy. And so they were looking for producers across South Africa to just remix. And I saw the competition and I hopped on it, and I did a remix, and, people just loved it, and people
of these streets, ne?
Yes, these streets, yes. And people voted, and I came third in the country. I think the second guy was Chima Music. I don't, and then Wesley Shea So for me, it was like, it was
Such
a stamp
an
of approval
honor.
that you're doing something, because like if you can get noticed out of something, because the competition had so many entries. I think had
of people who are already there.
Yes,
like
some people are already there.
Yeah.
Some people that I wished, some producers I wished I could work with, but I didn't have access to. They were also in the competition, and for me to come out third, it was really, really like a big stamp of approval. Yeah.
I know we mentioned your debut single earlier on. So what I wanted to ask, you were talking about the fact that, it was number 1 on Metro. Do you find that with your current genre, the dance style, the house music, is it easier to get radio play? Is it just like a matter of if the music compiler loves it, great, he puts it on, or Vropu's under the table?
I think with any genre, getting on radio is not easy.
It's tough.
Because, in South Africa, there is so much talent. There's enormous amount of talent. And everyone is trying to get into radio. So I think one of the things that helps, when it comes to the industry as a whole, whether it's television or radio, I think it's just having something different. I think when you've got something different, it's easier to stick out. And I think you should just push that continuously, because with me, almost all the songs that I've ever released have landed up on radio, but I don't have a guy that I call where I'm like,
envelope.
Yes, I don't have that, but it's always those things that show you that there's something that you're doing, and it's a bit unique, even though maybe at that current moment people have not got it yet. They don't quite understand what you're doing, because you're not doing something that's trending at that moment, but it shows you where you are going. So for me, my focus is always based on just being me. I have influences, because there are people that I look up to. As I mentioned, Louis Vega. Black Coffee is one of the people I also look up to, and I also
But Black Coffee also studied music. A lot of people don't know this.
Yes. So those kind of things, when you listen to my music, you hear those influences, and I just choose to just focus on the sound that I want to push. It might not be trending now, but I believe that someday people will get the picture.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. So you're ahead of the game in a way. Like, so fika ngendlela thina sisayile makuthi silele. Yeah, it's crazy that you mentioned that in your vault of wishes of remixes, there's one Yandabo featuring Umbuso, and I know that you recently did another one with a favorite vocalist of mine, Udumza Maswana. You mentioned Brian Temba. So for me, you've just got to, put all these vocalists that are my favorite male vocalists of this country, just in J. I encourage. So yes, please tell us about the newest release. Ngoba angeke ngiqede, Wandi, you've done so much. And yeah, this could go on for 10 more hours, but for now, tell us about your newest release.
I have a new EP out. It consists of some of the songs that I've released before. I think there's like 3 or 4. I released it in December. This EP for me is like, it's like I'm putting my CV out there, showing people that this is what, I have to offer. I've got loads more music that's still coming through. But for this EP, I chose those songs because those are the songs that I started with, And there's a very, very special remix that I did there, which is the song that you mentioned with Dumza Maswana, Molo. When I heard that song, I knew I had to create a dance version. And I spoke to Dumza. When I spoke to him, like a very big part of me thought he was not going to agree.
Come on, he's one of the sweetest people.
And then he agreed to it, and he sent me everything that I needed, and I worked on it. I worked on that remix a lot. And it's very important for me because it showcases all my sides of music, If as a producer for dance music, it showcases my jazz piano because I also play piano accompaniment in the song. So it's a very important remix for me, and I think it's one of those songs where if I'm DJing, I will never not have it. Not have it in
Can I confess to you guys at home and also to JULU Sound? The first time I heard that song, I was like, I didn't think I could love this Dumza song more than I do, but damn, boy, you did the things, Aishem. You did the things.
Thank you.
So is that the song you're going to play for us today? Is it a part of the mix?
Yes, that song is going to be part of the mix. And
what
I'm
else
also
is in the
going to
mix?
showcase songs that I found on my EP. My EP is called Sentimental Elegance. Basically what it means, almost all the songs consist of synth sounds. And elegance, I see my music as being classy. So Sentimental Elegance. You can find it on all digital music stores. Yeah.
And how do we find you?
I'm on Instagram at JULU Sound. I'm on Twitter at I am JULU Sound. And I have a Facebook page called JULU Sound.
You're not scared of Twitter. A lot of people come to Benet. They must be like, Twitter, I guess. No. So you're not scared of Twitter. You're not scared of black Twitter.
No, I think I know myself. So
no scandals.
Like no matter what is said to me, no matter what is said to me, it won't get to me that much because I know it's just Twitter.
Come on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for watching at home. If you have not subscribed to HTV and Center for Jazz and Popular Music's YouTube channel, we encourage you to do so. I know you're good with YouTube. You didn't mention your YouTube.
Yes, it's my YouTube channel as well. If you search JULU Sound on YouTube, you'll find my music, you'll find my channel. Yeah, you can subscribe.
Please enjoy this deliciousness at home. Thank you. The UKZN Center for Jazz and Popular Music, in collaboration with HTV, brings you Beneath the Mask. Center for Jazz and Popular Music, in collaboration with HTV, brings you Beneath the Mask. We sit down with talented, up-and-coming, as well as seasoned musicians and chat to them every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Check our Facebook and YouTube pages. Just search for Center for Jazz and Popular Music or HTV and you will find us. For participation, please call us on 068 1026 233 or alternatively, you can email us on zamat1@ukzn.ac.za. That is zamat1@ukzn.ac.za. Join us then and catch every last bit.